Hey guys, it's TedBricks here. Today we're going to be reviewing a pretty awesome set from all the way back in 2003. It is of course Spider-Man and Green Goblin, The Origins, set 4851. And yeah, I can't believe the set is 20 years old now. It's such an awesome and iconic set. I've recently managed to get a hold of it and I am so happy and excited because it's just such an amazing set. It might not look like a lot, but there is so much going on here. It's crazy that this set was around about £25–30 back in the day, and now it's so much more. Even used, you would have to be paying over £100 for it. Brand new, yeah, you're going to be paying a few £100s for it. It is an awesome set. Let's just get into it. Let's start with the minifigures. First figure we'll look at here is of course the iconic Spider-Man. Technically the second Spider-Man ever made. The design, the print on him is from the first ever Spider-Man ever made. But why this is technically the second one is because in 2002, the year before this set was released, the Spider-Man that was released was the same, but the only difference is it had a red neck bracket for the Lego Studio sets. This one doesn't. So yeah, it's arguably the second Spider-Man ever made, and it is such a great figure for the time. Great printing on the torso, you can see there, and luckily mine has stayed. It hasn't rubbed off over the years. You can see the silver webbing there, and if you look closely, if I try to catch the light a little bit, on the blue and on the red torso there is some muscle pattern, some dark muscle pattern. Maybe it's rubbed off slightly over the years, but you can sort of see. But yeah, some more web patterning on the waist there. We go on the back, there's some more printing, of course, with the red spider. Absolutely awesome printing. Can't really go wrong with this figure. If they will release this figure again today, which they technically will be soon with the new set coming out of the Statue of Liberty set, they've got the red boots and more printing going on. But anyway, it's a great figure nonetheless for the time, and one of my favourites in the entire set. And while we're talking about Spider-Man, why not, let's move on to Peter Parker. A pretty good figure, in all honesty. I love the torso, definitely my favourite part of the figure, and I believe it's exclusive to the set, to this figure alone, so it works really well. Of course, he has his camera from the scene in the movie when he's taking a picture of Mary Jane. You saw me displaying it over there earlier. Really awesome. He got his glasses on. Unfortunately, there's no double-sided face. I think there is another Peter Parker where there is his glasses on one side, on the other side it's him without his glasses. I think I'd probably prefer that one a little bit better. I think it's in a Lego Studio set. I think that came out the year before, in 2002, when Spider-Man first appeared. That's a really awesome Peter Parker, to be honest, but still, it's a fine figure. I definitely prefer this torso. Standard legs, just some dark blue legs, nothing too crazy going on. It wasn't too common back in those days to have back printing, so this Peter Parker does have no back printing, but it's fine. It's still a fine figure, and I really like it. Moving on to Mary Jane, or MJ, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of this figure. It's a little bit weird, only in the face. That's the problem I really have. The hairpiece is actually alright. I quite like the mold of it. The colour is, I know she's, ginger or a bit gingery hair in the film, but it's a little bit too ginger. Obviously, if they did the figure again today, yeah, it wouldn't be this colour. The face, yeah, it's weird to say the least. I think it was in a few studio sets at the time. It does not look like Kirsten Dunst at all. It's a very odd figure, to say the least. How the hair is printed on the head as well. She's got the scared expression, as you can see there. Back torso printing, and then the front torso printing is interesting. Without commenting on it too much, today Lego wouldn't do that with the cleavage showing slightly there. It's a little bit surprising, but anyway, Lego definitely would not do that today. I think they also did it with Princess Leia, one of the figures as well. But anyway, the figure, it's fine. It's definitely not my favourite, but it's nice to add to the collection. Moving on now to the Norman Osborn figure of the set, and I want to show Norman Osborn first before I show Green Goblin, because I kind of want to compare them. So first off, he's naked, half naked, just a yellow torso here. I'm sure Lego would put some printing on his torso to show his six-pack or show his I don't know, show his skin rather than just yellowness. It looks a little bit strange. Of course, there's no torso printing. Very, very basic figure. The face print, I'm pretty sure, came on a few LEGO Studios minifigures back in the day. Pretty standard weird face. He's got a scared expression on the back where he's sweating there slightly. Pretty interesting face. It's a nice face print for them to use, but not much else to add to the figure, in all honesty. Let's now move on to Green Goblin. So yeah, he is the Green Goblin. I gotta say, one of the best figures in this set. It is the best figure in this entire set. Printing throughout, it's the only figure with printing on the legs, and to this day, it holds up so amazing. Just look at that printing. Absolutely phenomenal on the legs. They didn't have to do it at the time. It was rare for figures back in the early 2000s to have printing on the legs. Nowadays, of course, in LEGO, it would be very disappointing if LEGO minifigures don't have printing on the legs, but this one does, and it looks absolutely amazing. Even printing on the back as well looks fantastic, and they even went as far as putting printing on the back of the head. I forgot about that. It's just brilliant. So much detail. Those tones there in that bluey kind of tone with the green and the black lines. Absolutely brilliant. No arm printing, which is fine. It was almost definitely not possible. Actually, no, tell a lie. The Boba Fett from the Cloud City set did have arm printing. That's why it's so expensive nowadays. Talking about being so expensive, this figure is by itself quite expensive. Same with the Spider-Man figure. They're bad themselves. Well, altogether, should I say, or probably over £100. It's crazy how much in value they've got over the years. Now, if I take his mask off here, brilliant piece. I love this piece so much. There is another version of this in a few other sets without the gold on the mask, but this one, of course, does have the gold on the mask, on his eyes and his teeth there, some the black lines. Mine, sorry, the camera's going out of focus. Mine's slightly faded a little bit over the years, but it's not too bad. I've seen some in really bad condition, but yeah, mine's okay. There is a few, as I said, in other sets without the printing. I definitely prefer the printing on the mask than the ones without the printing. Anyway, let's get off that. I just want to get you back over to Norman Osborn here, just to show you. Get the camera a little bit in focus there. There we go, I've got it to focus. So the printing on his face here is very similar, if not near enough exactly the same as this guy here. Yeah, I think that's awesome that LEGO were very consistent with printing that. So good. I'm so happy they did that back then. You wouldn't think they would go that far, but that's amazing. I'm very happy they did it. But yeah, it's crazy how similar they look as well. They've done a very good job copying. Mine's slightly faded on the... Made kind of a nose there over the years where the mask is rubbed on slightly. But yeah, brilliant figure, brilliant figures that they've... very consistent overall with that. But yeah, let's move on to the final figure. So yeah, the final figure we're having a look at today is Dr. Mendelstrom. Originally on Bricklink and Brick set, this character was just titled Scientist, but in the movie, if you don't know, his name is Mendelstrom, Dr. Mendelstrom. He's also in the comics as well. I think he might even be a villain technically in the comics. I'm not entirely too sure, but yeah, anyway. As of recently, he was just called Scientist on Brickset, I know that for sure. But I got in contact with Brickset to change the name, and luckily they got in contact with me back, and yeah, they changed the name, which is awesome. So if you go into Brickset now, you'll see that this guy's name is now Dr. Mendelstrom, as it should be, because that's his name. He was called Scientist just for years. Scientist. Even though he is a scientist, his name isn't Scientist, which always made me laugh. Anyway, onto the actual figure itself. Brilliant figure, even though there's not much going on. I love the torso. You can add that to a zombie minifigure if you wanted to. I think it's exclusive to the set as well. I might be wrong about that, but it's a standard torso nonetheless. But I love how the tie is slightly coming off there. It's a massive tie. You can add it to make a custom zombie if you wanted to. Nothing happening on the back. Basic legs, grey legs, and the hair as well. The face print is also pretty basic. You may think it's a really common... the camera focus again. Yeah, you may think this is a pretty common face print. However, it's not that common. In fact, I think this only comes in 2 sets. So it is very basic. It doesn't look that interesting. Just a smiley face with eyes and pupils there. No back printing. But yeah, it is technically an exclusive figure. sorry, non-exclusive, a hard-to-get face print. It's quite surprising. I looked on Bricklink. I didn't realise how uncommon it was. So, yeah, it's nice that Lego went as far as making back then, making a hard-to-get face print. Or they probably didn't plan on doing that. But anyway, it's nice that it's not as common as you may think. Anyway, that's it for the minifigures. Now let's get on to the actual set. So onto the actual set itself. Where shall we begin? Let's start with one of the first scenes in the movie, or the first scene in this set. This scene comes later. This scene, of course, happens before. This is, of course, a very iconic moment where Peter Parker, who's right there, of course, gets bit by the radioactive spider. I don't know where to begin with this set. It's so good. Let's start over here. We've got two spiders in a glass cabinet here, which they can come out. We can just slide them out there. They are these transparent old spiders. We've got like a greeny yellowish one there. We've got an orange one that's in here. I think one of these are exclusive to the sets, or they might not be. There might have come some Lego Studios sets at the time. If you didn't know, Lego Studios started with Spider-Man back in 2002. Then Spider-Man got its own theme a year later in 2003. This is technically a Lego Spider-Man set. We do have a sticker here, just some detail of some controls, some spags going on, to just add some nice detail, a nice sticker. But yeah, it's a nice little cabinet for the spiders going on. This is one of my favourite parts of the set. We have a DNA print here. This is a print, not a sticker. It's a really awesome piece. I'm pretty sure it's exclusive. I've got another transparent spider here in red, and I've got this magnifying glass here, which actually works, can I just say. We've got Spider-Man there. I don't know if you can see, but if you get it over close to him, yeah, you can just about see there. You can actually magnify his eyes, so it actually works. It's a really awesome magnifying glass. I mean, I'm saying it's a new thing, and Lego, no, it's 20 plus years old. It's Lego have always had magnifying glasses for quite a while, so it's quite a cool piece. But yes, we're going to go over here now. This is another sticker. We've got a few pictures of spiders. The spider in the middle here, I'm pretty sure is Spider-Man's logo, to be fair. I think that's the same design as Spider-Man's logo, so that's quite cool. It's very accurate to the first scene in the movie when Peter, MJ, and all his classmates come in for, I guess, a field trip, whatever they're doing, and researching spiders, and Peter's there taking photos of MJ. I've kind of set it up there like it is. I don't know what Spider-Man's doing there. It's not very accurate. But one of my favourite features of the set is back here. You can push this. It's on like a little hinge piece. The web's connected back there. And if I push that down, as you can see, the spider gets lowered, and of course that's where Peter Parker gets bit by the radioactive spider, and the rest is history. But yes, Peter Parker's there with his camera, which I showed you earlier. If we turn it around, we can see this is a cobweb piece with a traditional black spider on there, just hanging out, nothing too crazy. But this is like the entrance. It would have been nice if we had a bit more bricks going on here, but I think that would have, at the time, the price would be a little bit higher. £25 back in the day was a decent price for what you get. If this set was remade today, it would be a lot more, and I'm sure Lego would add a lot more to it if they would ever remake it today. But I don't think they, sadly, will never make it again, which is a shame, because this is a very crazy, awesome set. It's one of the first Lego Marvel sets ever made. So yeah, I think I've shown you most of what's going on here. Some computers, some keyboards. Of course, they're prints. They're pretty common in other sets. A little glass cup there. Yeah, a little tabletop. Nothing too much happening. This spins around, which is quite nice. Only so far, then it gets stopped by the computers. You can adjust this to anywhere you like. But yeah, it's nice to have that movability. But nothing else to really add. In all honesty, that's it for that scene. But yeah, I guess we can move on to the next scene. A little bit later in the movie, of course, when Norman Osborn, as you can see right there, is going a little bit nervous that he's going to be fired from his job. Of course, this is when Dr. Mendelstrom, who is this character here I showed you earlier, he's on the computer. He's getting ready to turn Norman Osborn basically into the Green Goblin, which he will later become. But before we get over here, this is one of the most excited parts of the set, to be honest. I want to show you over here. Really nothing too crazy. We've got just some odd random controls. This is another print, which I believe is exclusive to the set. If I show you that a little bit closer, it's just a basic print. It's nothing too interesting for the set, but I quite like it still. Got some levers, got some red and green lights, just add a bit more detail. Green Goblin's mask, of course, which goes onto Green Goblin, you've already seen. Random glass bottle, like it more acts as a stand for the helmet. These doors down here, excuse my hand, do open. There isn't anything inside, but it is nice. There is some space for, I don't know, to put Peter Parker's camera in, or put a spider in, whatever you want to do. It's, you make your own adventure, I guess, but that's nice to have. As we saw over here, it's very similar design going on. This is a flat screen instead, and another same keyboard, I do believe. But yeah, pretty basic. These base plates are exactly the same, these grey base plates. Talking about the grey colours on this set, so this is actually going a bit in depth of colours now. This is a grey base plate, I believe. No, sorry, a light grey base plate. Technically this colour is retired. The light grey that comes out today is technically light bluish grey, and then yeah, this dark grey, as you can see here, was just called grey. The dark grey that comes out today is called dark grey. And if you notice the colours, they are very, very similar, but they are very different. Lego retired them for some reason and decided to go for a bit more different sort of tint. Anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit about that. I just thought it'd be interesting to know that the colours are slightly changed over time. They are classic grey colours, which what first appeared in sets. Anyway, let's go over to here. So we've got some steps walking up, nothing too crazy. Got a printed cash register, I guess you could call it. That's what it's been used for, but it's like a little control panel with some numbers on there. If we turn this thing round, we can see that on the other side we've got Green Goblin, and yes, of course, Green Goblin. Oh, let's actually go back around here, or should I say Norman Osborn can turn into Green Goblin. When you spin this little dial around, that works brilliantly. It's not super accurate to the movie. Of course, he's not wearing his costume until a little later, but to add to the feel of it, Norman Osborn turning into Green Goblin, I'm sure kids back then would have loved it. It's so good. And as I showed you earlier, the Norman Osborn face and the Green Goblin face are very similar, if not exactly the same. It's very consistent, like we've done there. Very awesome. But yeah, I love that, how we can just turn them, you can spin it, and you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, kids back then could do whatever they want, as they could today. But as of inside, nothing really going on. This door does open. There's just a window back there that doesn't open, but yeah, just pretty basic door, nothing too crazy. A really interesting piece about this section of the set is this glass panel here. It kind of slides into some ridges. It's a really big glass piece, which Lego haven't used too much of. They definitely wouldn't use anything like that today. If Lego would remake this set today, if you have seen the film, if you remember from this scene, when Mendelstrom, Dr. Mendelstrom, thinks that Norman Osborn is dead, of course he runs in, and of course he's alive, and he throws him out the window. Glass breaks, he's dead on the floor. Yeah, if they would remake the set today, yeah, I'm sure they would make this glass break as a special feature in the set. But anyway, it's not a big deal. It really isn't a big deal. Moving up, the last part of the set we'll look at here is this massive sticker, which is on 3 pieces here. Lego don't do that too often nowadays, but yeah, this is a sticker on 3 pieces. Would you believe? They've done it in a few sets. I think back in the early 2000s they did it on a few SpongeBob sets. Yeah, don't want to put any stickers on over multiple pieces. That's going to obviously ruin the sticker over time, taking it apart. So luckily over the years it hasn't ripped or anything. It's a plastic sticker. Most stickers are paper. This is a plastic sticker, so it's relatively strong. It hasn't ripped or anything, so happy about that. But yeah, it's pretty accurate. Lab C35. I'm not sure if that might be a reference from the comics or anything. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments, but yeah, it's accurate in the movie. That's what it says in the movie. But yeah, that's a little bit it. That's pretty much it on this set, or at least this part anyway. There's Dr. Mendelstrom dead on the floor there. A really interesting part of the set is that you can display it how you want to. How I showed you at the start, it was closed like this, but what I think is that when looking at it, it kind of acts like there's no separate rooms. You could just walk down here and, you know, into this section of the same room. What I like to think about is you can, oopsie daisy, you can move it around so like that. And it makes me think it's more of a separate set now, or a separate scene, should I say. So of course this is one scene, you could say, and this is behind closed doors where Norman Osborn is turning into Green Goblin. I think I like that idea better, where that's just behind, and yeah, rather than having it like that. But I guess you can display it however you want to. But it is nice that there is a hinge piece right there. But anyway, that is around about it for this set. There isn't really too much else going on. I don't know if I showed you under here. It's just hollow under there, nothing going on behind. Yeah, that is it with this set. I think we should end the set, and I'll end the video, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So yeah, guys, this is an awesome set. If the set was released today, it probably wouldn't be as awesome as it was back then. Knowing how old it is, knowing how classic and memorable this set is, it really is one of the most wanted sets I've ever wanted. I'm so happy to have it now in my collection. But yeah, if it was released today, I'm sure it wouldn't be as special as it is today, because it was released so far back, if that makes any sense. But still, I love it, and that's all that matters. And yeah, that is it for the video. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you had this set growing up. I really wish I did, but unfortunately I've only just got it. But it's better late than never, hey. But yeah, I'm very, very, very pleased to have it in my collection. Of course, I haven't showed you the instructions or box in this set, I meant to say, because I do not have them, which is a shame, which is the only bad side of me owning this. I do not have... Actually, I don't mind too much not owning the box, but it's a shame I don't have the instructions. A little quick story how I acquired this set. I got it off eBay. I got the Spider-Man and Green Goblin figure ages ago for quite cheap, before the film came out, No Way Home. So I was very, very happy about that. I got them for like 30, maybe £40 each, around about that. So that was a really good price considering how expensive they are today. And this set itself, so of course I got the set without these two figures. I got them a while back. I got this set off eBay for around about £35, I believe. So I was chuffed with that, because I thought that was a really good price considering these figures might be around about £5 to £10 each. The rest of the set, I don't know. The pieces aren't too expensive. Maybe some of the stickered pieces, printed pieces, might be £1 or £2. I'm not entirely sure. So overall, I spent less than £100 on this set. So I am extremely pleased and satisfied with what I've got. There was a little bit of... I actually thought I wasn't going to get this set at some point. The seller accidentally sent me the wrong thing. I got someone else's parcel. I got some like Lego Star Wars and Minecraft items. So I sent it back to the seller, and the other buyer who got basically got this, sent it back to the seller, and I must have got the other buyer's items. So yeah, we sent them back to the seller, and the seller managed to send them back out. But yeah, I was worried for a second. I thought I was never going to be able to get this set at such a good price. So yeah, a little quick story there. I'm happy how I got it, and yeah, that's literally it for the video, guys. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and yeah, let me know if you want to see any more videos like this in the future. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Thank you and goodbye.